G'day and welcome to Dodge This, the channel that's all about things Guild Wars 2. This is Caboose speaking. First up, I'd like to say this is pretty much my first time jumping into structured PvP. Good PvP players might want to prepare themselves for some truly awful PvP play. In preparation for my inevitable suckage, I figured it'd be best to make a build that focused on supporting my allies and survival. So, after tinkering around for a bit, I made a poison stealth build that shared my buffs with my allies and jumped right in. Now, onto the reason I decided to try structured PvP during this stress test in the first place. Earlier this week, Zyback TV posted a video requesting a game change for Guild Wars 2 structured PvP. His request was to have the down state removed from PvP play, as he believes it slows the game down and was clunky and unnecessary. Failing that, he would like to see it changed to something more clutch, where 9 times out of 10 you won't be able to achieve anything and the down state will be over almost instantaneously. Which sounds to me pretty much like the same thing. Normally I wouldn't give such a radical request any thought, as I believe a game developer would dismiss the notion in an instant, but it was his claims that we've gotten a lot of stuff changed in the past and I think we can change this too that made me sit up and take notice. First up, in case it isn't clear, I'd like to state I think making any changes to the down state in its current form, more than slight skill tweaks, would be a bad idea. It adds a really unique, interesting layer to the Guild Wars 2 combat, and structured PvP is no exception. Since Zyback used a thief for his video, I figured I'd do the same, though I'm sure our builds were vastly different. First thing I think we should cover was the teleport ability he used throughout his video to avoid death. There's no denying it's a powerful ability, but it's nothing unusual for a thief. You'll notice throughout the video players disappearing in a large cloud of smoke. This is the Thieves' near-death ability that puts them into stealth when they're lowered to 20% of their total health points. Thieves have access to many other manually activated teleports, or shadow steps as they are called in-game. The best way to counter this on a down thief in a group situation is to have one player immediately try to finish the thief, forcing him to use it, then just follow it up with another. Just like our Sylvari friend is about to do here. If that's not feasible, just put a dot on the thief and let him bleed out. In solo situations, simply focusing on damaging the thief will most likely result in his death sooner than trying to stomp him. In regards to the down state having too much health, you've got to remember that it's only potential health. Any player out there can one-shot you with the finish him ability. If ArenaNet reduced the amount of health you had when you were in the down state, there'd be no reason to use the finish move at all. This is the whole reason I believe you have so much health while in this state. You've got to make a tactical choice. Do I slowly damage down this ridiculously large health bar, or do I go for the quick one-hit kill ability? Also take note that unless a player rallies, to get back up from this state they need to fill that health bar back up to full. So it works both ways. I'm not 100% sure what Zyback meant when he claimed that the down state makes 2 versus 1s impossible, unless your foes are retarded. Removing the down state wouldn't change this fact in the least. It doesn't really matter what game you're playing. If foes of equal skill are fighting one another, it's the side with the most numbers that's going to win. It's also not a simple case of numbers, as you can see here. Take note that one of our 3 opponents here is also a thief. I'm not saying zerging doesn't happen, but with the right tactics you can draw out a fight long enough for reinforcements to arrive and attempt to turn the tide. As for the down state slowing down the combat, I'll let you judge that for yourself watching this video. Personally, I find that when you're in huge scrums, it only adds to the urgency to get your foes down as quickly as possible, lest they get back onto their feet again. Lastly, I was really surprised how much I enjoyed this mode. The stress test flew by and it was over before I knew it. I'm sure it's obvious to any PvPer just how bad we all were, but since Guild Wars 2 seems to be good at matching people of equal skill and rebalancing sides in an uneven game, there was never a dull moment. I'll definitely be playing this mode on release. I know this video isn't going to make a convert of anyone supporting the removal of the downstate feature, but please guys, at least wait until release and give it a chance before demanding its removal. It seems to be working out fine for inexperienced players, and from the tournament videos I've watched, it not only makes for some awesome strategic play, but it's actually very enjoyable to watch as well. If you're interested in seeing how the down mechanic affects organised or hardcore PvP play, head over to Torgrim's channel and check out his reviving and finishing video. I encourage people to share their opinions and views on this topic, though take note, this is a fairly small channel, and as such, I will be moderating the responses. Personal attacks on people with opposing views, spamming or trolling will simply be deleted. Also, giving the video a thumbs up if you agree with keeping the state in the game, and a thumbs down if you don't, is fine by me. Alright, I think that pretty much wraps it up. This has been Caboose from Dodge This, and I hope I'll see you next time.